Hello, one and all, and welcome back to Fightful MMA. My name is Harry Kettle, and I'm being joined by a very special guest. This man is coming off the back of yet another highlight reel win. It is the one, the only Vicente Luque. Vicente, how are you today?
Doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Anytime. Now, of course, you're quite familiar with South America, being Brazilian and whatnot. But for you, how was Uruguay? Was it a nice change of pace? Was it something that somewhere you've been before? How did you enjoy Uruguay?
I enjoyed it a lot. It's a little bit different than what we have here in South America, especially very different from Brazil. It's more European style, but I really enjoyed it. I liked it. Food there is really, really good. So had a lot of fun, especially after the fight. Was able, to get to visit some of the tourism areas and some nice things to visit. So it was had fun for sure.
What parts of it made it a little bit more European for you then?
I think just everybody walks much more than here in Brazil. So here in Brazil, it's not so much a city that you walk, and I don't know. It's just I've been to in Europe. I've been to England and I've been to Ireland, and I don't know. It had some kind of similarities in the sense that I think just the people are really friendly and everybody talks to you everywhere you go, and they're just nice people. I don't know. Just got that feel. It's really different from Brazil.
It's good to know you think the people of England are friendly at the very least. But so obviously it wasn't Finnish, ironically enough. But I think it's fair to say you made a significant impact. For you, the fact that so many people are talking about this, about what happened, is that more satisfying than the finishes, and perhaps the fact that you've been able to show that again you can go the distance?
It's a little mixed feelings. Like I definitely am excited, to show everybody that I'm a guy that can go 3 rounds, and I did those 3 rounds really good. I could keep going, man. When I finished the fight, I was feeling good still, cardio wise, and I had good energy. But at the same time, I like to get those finishes. So whenever I can get a finish, and I tried, I really hit him with the best shots I had. I tried the guillotine at the end, but Perry is a tough guy. He took everything I brought to the fight, and he survived all the rounds. He hit me, he hit me with a couple of shots, hard shots. I was able to take them and keep going. So overall, I'm really excited and really happy with my performance. I think it's a different thing that I've shown in the UFC octagon. I've shown that I can finish people. Now I'm starting to show that I can go to distance. I can, if people are gonna try to make that fight, long and complicated, I can overcome that as well. So yeah, I like the finishes, but this fight, I think it had to be like that against a tough opponent like Perry. I think it was a good fight.
Oh, it was a great fight, and we heard Mike talking on the Ariel Helwani MMA show over on ESPN this past Monday. He was talking about how when he was getting treated for the injuries that he sustained to his nose, he said because we've seen so many boxing injuries lately, blows to the head and things like that. He honestly thought, "Am I going to die?" That was the extent of his faith. How does that make you feel? Because obviously we know it's the fight game. But when you hear something like that, what's your emotion and your reaction to that?
I did actually watch him on the Ariel on the show, and you know, I definitely kind of like that's not what we're looking for. I'm a fighter. I get in there and I'm gonna go, 100%, and things like that happen. It could have been me. I could have been the one with a broken nose. Thankfully for me, it wasn't. But I so things like this, it's not what we want. We don't want to, at the end of the fight, the guy to be injured. I know it's going to take, some time for that to heal. It's going to take from his training, and maybe he's going to have to, fight later than he was planning to. So after everything, after the win, after everything, I was, concerned with that, and I wish the best recovery for him. But when we're fighting, we want to win, and we're going to do everything we can inside the rules and inside our power to win. So it's not something that I would change the outcome during the fight. I think it was an important shot I threw. It caught his nose. Maybe if I had caught him somewhere else, it would have been, a different, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have been so much damage. but at the same time, it wouldn't be so much impact. And I think that was a big thing that I did in the fight, a big change for that round to be my round. So it's hard to say. Like during the fight, I wouldn't change it. After the fight, I just wish him the best recovery and that he gets back soon to the gym and to fighting.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that you like being able to show people that you can do these kind of fights, the decisions and everything like that. In terms of nutrition, because a lot of people, a lot of fans like to know about what fighters eat, what they avoid, what they like to go for. In terms of nutrition, what do you recommend, and what do you kind of eat and drink and go through on a day-to-day basis that helps you stay in the kind of cardio shape necessary for fights like that?
Yeah, I think nutrition is really important, not only for the cardio, but for recovery, for getting out of a fight like I did. It was a hard fight, 3-round fight. This week, so a little bit more than a week after the fight, I'm already back to training. I'm sore a little bit, but I'm feeling really good. I can, next week start going hard at practice. So I think that nutrition, especially keeping it clean, that's what I do. I'll take a week after the fight and I'll eat whatever I want to eat. But after this, like this week, I'm keeping my diet clean, eating healthy. Not so much like eating little, like when I'm cutting weight. Now I eat free as much as I want to eat, but I make sure it's going to be clean. So, eating just everything organic, that's something I like to do. I will eat mostly like homemade food. And it's hard to say like what's clean food, but I don't eat out much, so I'll just eat rice, beans, that's salad, vegetables. I'll eat steak during the day, but at night I try to put in some fish because it's not so greasy. And in general, just healthy eating and make sure that you eat many times a day. That's what I always do. I'll eat at least 6 times a day.
And with that kind of nutrition, with that kind of schedule, with everything that comes with fighting, what kind of things do you like to get up to outside of the octagon, away from fighting? So, if whatever personal time you have, what kind of things do you like as a hobby?
Yeah, lately, I have not had so much time outside. I'm excited with my career, so I'm putting in as much work as I can. But something I really like is motorsports. So all kind of motorsports, especially lately, I've been into drifting a lot. So I have some friends here in my city that they are really recognized in Brazil for drifting. They're one of the best, and whenever I can, I hang out with them. I've got to drive some of their cars too, so I like to do that. That's fun for me. And when I don't have time, to do it outside of the house, I'll just turn on the video game and play some Forza or something like that, just to keep me on that. The hobby. I really like motorsports. I don't have so much time to do it because I'm always focused on my camp, on fighting and training. But whenever I can, I try to put something in.
Does that extend to kind of like Formula One, motorbikes and things like that, MotoGP, all that stuff?
Yeah, I like to watch Formula One and also a stock car. It's similar to NASCAR, but here in Brazil we have stock car. I like to watch that as well. And rallying, I love rallying, so I'll watch a little bit. Ken Block is a guy that I like to watch a lot.
In an alternate life, would that have been something you would like to take up professionally, becoming a pro driver?
Definitely, I think that would be something. I have plans in the future, maybe do some just nothing serious, but whenever I retire from fighting, have a little bit fun of competing in motorsports. But that's plans for later. Right now, I'm not focused on any of that, but definitely would have been, if not a fighter, I would have tried to be a racing driver.
It's interesting you mention that because you're obviously a young guy and you're still in some people's definition you'll be in the prime of your career right now. Some people maybe not. For you, what do you think defines the prime of a fighter's career? Is it a certain age range, or do you think it's just when he changes something up or something clicks for him?
That's a tricky question, especially because I think that the age will be an effect on your body. So that depends how you take, your nutrition, how you take training, how you take recovery after fights. I try to do all that as best as I can. This week, I'm already back to physical therapy. I'll do physical therapy like I never stop. I'll just stop when I'm like a week resting, but after that I'm right back to it, and not because I have injuries or anything, but I want to prevent having any serious injuries. So I think physically, that's something you got to take care. And some guys can go more, can go for longer. Other guys cannot. But I would say that when you really are at like reaching your prime is when you have evolved everything you can evolve. Technically, different kinds of things that you can learn on your game. And I feel like I'm a guy, I still have a lot to learn. Every single fight, I think I show a little bit more of my evolution. And I know that I have so much that I have not shown yet and so much that I can still learn. So I don't know. I think mentally, I'm far from my prime, and physically as well, because I see myself growing physically every single fight. I'm stronger, I'm faster, I have more cardio, so I feel like, I don't know, maybe after, 32, 30 something, that's going to be my prime. I feel like I'm still growing a lot.
Yeah, and you mentioned your evolution there, and your evolution is coming in pretty much one of the toughest divisions you could possibly ever be in. And one of the big debates that people seem to have at the moment is welterweight or lightweight. What is the kind of premier division? It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but for you, what would the case be for you for welterweight to say this is the big time, the big division in MMA and the UFC?
I would say, you don't have so many welterweights moving down to lightweight, but you got a lot of lightweights moving up.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a point where, okay, so we're having these guys test themselves at welterweight division, and some guys have succeeded, but overall, I think most of them have really encountered that welterweight is a really tough division. I think the welterweight division mixes the light guys with the heavy guys. So you've got strong guys, fast guys, cardio guys, and good guys everywhere. There are wrestlers, there are strikers, but the wrestlers can strike and the strikers can wrestle, and everybody can grapple. So I really think it's a division where it's really it's true MMA. Everybody is good at everything, and you can have a ranking all the way to the 30 best fighters in welterweight division, and I think all of them could become a challenger eventually for the title and would be a good fight. So I think it's a packed division, and I'm excited for that. I think that for myself, it's more of a challenge and more of a motivation to really do my best at the gym and make sure that fight night I'll be as ready as I can.
Absolutely. And finally, something that we like to ask everybody on the show. What do you think the next 18 to 24 months have in store for Vicente Luque?
Man, that's a good question. This year, my goal in my mind, is to be in the top 10. After this fight, it was a tough fight, but I'm recovering good. I'm training good. I believe I could put one more in this year, but I want to look, for the right fight, for the good fight, a big name. I think I've proved to the UFC I deserve to fight a guy with a lot of name at this point. And next year, I think it's a big year for me. If everything goes as planned, I think it's the year I could reach the top 5 and be really close, to fighting for the title. And even if I get really good fights and really good finishes, maybe challenge for the title next year.